Hello, everybody out there in YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook land. We are back once again for some insanity, which is some Dungeons and Dragons, but that's okay. We are getting ready to undertake some more epic adventuring. I am joined by my assistant DM as well. But most importantly, folks, this is all about fun. Join us as we play some Dungeons and Dragons. Hello, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you who don't know me, and you should by now, my name is Matt, and I'm here tonight to play some Dungeons and Dragons with my wonderful daughter, who is called Charlotte, who keeps looking at the screen rather than at the camera, which is over there, but that's okay. We also have a little person here sitting next to us, Blair, who's acting as assistant DM tonight, which is very exciting, and we're looking forward to seeing what crazy antics we get up to. Just another reminder, folks, if this is your first episode with us of D&D Live Junior, we are playing Junior rules, so there are some things that might be slightly different for those of you that are seasoned veterans out there, but just roll with it. It's a lot of fun and a whole lot of chaos. We also have a few other bits and pieces and announcements and things we're going to talk about down the track, so stick around for those at the end of the stream tonight. Other than that, Charlotte, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm always ready.
Blair, are you ready? Yeah. All right, well, without further ado, folks, let's play some D&D.
Previously on HPG D&D Live Junior. Upon arriving in Phandalin, our Dragonborn Barbarian Yetnet allowed her companion Sildar Hallwinter to rest at the Stonehill Inn. She sought out the village townmaster, Harbin Wester, to inform him of her arrival and intentions, and Harbin made haste to speak with Sildar. Listening in on their conversation, Yetnet overheard that there was trouble in town with a group known as the Redbrands, committing thefts, starting fights, and even rumours of kidnapping. Yetnet then stepped into Sildar's room and offered to investigate the crimes. Upon making her way into the Stonehill Inn common room, she was knocked by a figure wearing a red cloak and discovered that she'd had a pouch containing gold stolen. After pursuing the figure, she made her way into the Sleeping Giant Tap House, a place of ill repute. There, she was set upon by 3 of the Redbrands, and after dispatching 2 of them in a very close call, she ran after the 3rd, who escaped into the night, heading toward Tressendar Manor at the far end of town. Beneath the manor, the musty smell of wine, cobwebs and dust filled the air, and Yetnet discovered a secret passageway that appears to lead deeper underground. Entering the passage, Yetnet encounters a foul smell permeating her nostrils, and a voice piercing the silence in her head, whispering, "Flesh! Flesh and blood!"
We are back beneath the depths of Tressendar Manor, and we are jumping straight in because today is, of course, Friday the 13th. So here we go. Where are we? A cold breeze fills this large natural cavern, carrying with it the faint scent of decaying flesh. A crevasse, a big cavern system, divides this cavern in two, and it's flanked on either side by a north and a south stone columns, and there's a couple of bridges on the north and south crossing over the big pit. The pit looks really deep, and there's columns and other things marking the area of this 20-foot high ceiling cavernous space. You're making your way down the passage, and you could just come into that larger area. How would you like to proceed?
I don't know. I don't want to go in there.
You don't want to go in there?
Yeah, no, I do.
Okay, well, if you want to make your way in, you can try and be stealthy, or you can go back the way you came. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna go.
You're going to creep in? All right, can you make your way through, but can you roll for stealth, please?
What is that?
Right off the bat, roll for stealth. That is a +2.
D20.
Yep.
D20.
Always a D20.
15.
Wow.
plus
Okay.
2.
So you creep through into the cavernous space. You can either head north towards the northern part of the room, or you can cross the southern bridge and try and make your way up. You can see there is a set of stairs that lead to another part across the southern area, and there's a passageway leading north.
North.
You want to go north? Okay. So as you make your way up and across the northern bridge, you can see there is like a small sort of fissure that leads into what looks like a barrel room, and there's also a passageway that lead closely, ever so slowly forward. You hear a slight snicker, and claws grinding against stone. And because you've been super cautious, you actually turn the corner, and as you come around to the side of a pillar, you can see a very nasty looking creature that is literally bone and claws and moldy, almost rotten flesh hanging from itself. And it's overshadowed by one very aggressive and very terrifying feature, a single green massive eye that is engrossed across this creature.
What's the name again?
This creature, if you don't know the name of it, you can try and make a history check or a lore check to see if you can identify what this creature is. But it is sort of skittering around almost on the ceiling, sort of clawing its way around, and you hear, inside your mind, you hear, flesh and prizes. Blood and prizes. And it sort of seems to be, even though it's not communicating via its more, you can just hear it sort of resonating inside your head. But for all intents and purposes, it doesn't appear to realize that you're there.
Oh, okay. Okay, this is gonna be yeah. What I said.
It's going to be bad. Okay. What would you like to do? So you've got an exit in the western side, or you can head north, or you can try and deal with this.
I want to try and deal with it because I want to try and kill it.
Do you want to try and identify what it is?
Yes.
All right. So make a history check for me.
D20.
Or actually, animal handling.
Animal handling. Oh, +2.
Okay. Good luck.
D20 was it?
Let's see.
Was it? +2. 80, 90,
A
20.
dirty 20. You could have been kidding me. This kid did dice rolls, I'll tell you what. Okay.
That's bad.
So you recall your animal history and everything else as well, and you recognize this creature as a Nothic. A Nothic is a nasty critter. It hunts for magic and obviously flesh as well, with its crazy teeth and blood, as we've discovered.
And rocks.
And communicates solely via telepathy. Again, doesn't know you're there. How would you like to proceed now that you know what it is you're dealing with?
I'm gonna. I don't want to bang something, but I really want to.
You can bypass it and make your way out, or you can try to.
But then it will just follow me though.
It doesn't know you're there at this point.
Blair, seriously, did you have to whisper that in my ear?
For those who didn't catch that, Blair just said kill it. So.
No, she can't kill its ear.
Oh well, whatever. That's the same sort of thing, I guess.
Oh, I really don't want to say this, but I want to make some noise.
You want to make some noise to get its attention. How do you want to do that?
I'm just gonna go ting, tingy, tingy, ting, tingy, tingy, tingy.
Are you just gonna make a loud clap, or
I'm gonna do.
you're gonna get its attention by clapping? Okay. You don't even have to roll for this. It's definitely going to hear you, and you're going to see. You're going to see the head of this creature and the shoulders just turn, boom, snaps straight towards you, and without skipping a beat, as it holds its gaze with this one solid green eye, it starts to scurry and skitter. Makes its way down onto the floor of the cavern and starts to press right up against you, and it's right here in front of you. It's less than 5 feet away, right in front of you, and its eye is just darting all over you, taking you in. It's almost like it's sniffing you in some respects. And it doesn't attack you, though, straight away. It just regards you. And then all of a sudden, inside your head, you hear, "Bring me flesh, bring me blood."
Lucky I don't have magic.
Lucky you don't have magic?
Yeah,
Sure?
yeah, because I'm not Ivy League anymore.
Well, this is true. That's a different character from a different campaign, but that's not what this is about.
Yes.
So how are you going to...
I think I'm just gonna take a couple steps back.
Okay, so you take a couple... How many?
I'm just gonna take 2.
Okay. Did you cross the bridge to go west, or did you step back? The Nothic takes a step towards you. So for every step you take back, the Nothic moves with you, and it's still right here, and it's still in your ear. Flesh, blood, lives, prizes. What would you like to do?
I really don't want to say it, but I think I might have to.
Well, maybe it's up to you whether you want to try and communicate with this thing. It's clearly intelligent in some respects.
I really don't want to use my great axe to chop his head off.
Well, it's entirely up to you. But. And you've got to remember too, after your scuffle with the Redbrands, you're about, what, 17 hit points?
Yep.
So you're about halfway with your health. So it's up to you what you want to do.
Alright, I'm going to try to communicate with it and say, like, I'm just going to say.
It's going to respond in your mind. Are you the wizard?
No, why do you say that? I don't have any magical powers.
It's going to whisper again in your ear that it's going to whisper, the wizard owes me lives and prizes.
Okay.
That's right, I'm just having a mic check, that's all.
Oh.
Keep going.
So, what's the name of this wizard?
Is that what you're asking the Nothic? Okay. Can you roll a persuasion check for me, please?
Please.
Oh my gosh, what's your bonus?
On what?
Persuasion. You don't have one. 18. Okay. So the Nothic, in your mind, you hear, the wizard who resides in these catacombs promised me lives, promised me prizes.
No, I asked, what's the name of the wizard?
The name has he. It is only one. He is Glassstaff.
Okay. Can I? Okay, so I'm gonna talk to it, but I'm gonna put one hand behind my back because I'm gonna try to see if I can try to get my great axe out without him noticing.
I need you to make a sleight of hand check. Oh, wow, how the mighty have fallen. Okay, so what's your sleight of hand bonus? 2, so 7 total. You reach for your great axe, okay? And as you reach for your great axe, you hear a voice inside your head. And you hear the Nothic whisper, "Do not be so foolish. I am stronger. I will destroy you."
Okay,
So clearly the Nothic knows that you're going for your weapons.
Okay, I'm not gonna do that. Oh, I know what. Well, stop. I know what to do. I know where the wizard is. I can go get him.
You will speak with Glassstaff and bring me blood and prizes.
Yes, if that's what you want.
Roll for persuasion.
Let's go. 3.
You must bring me prizes and lives, for if you fail to do so, I shall take yours.
So what's the live again?
So he scurries away and climbs back up. And from what you can understand, should you not bring him what he asks for, or bring this creature what it asks for, it will attack you. So if you decide to make your way,
tiptoe out. Like,
oh, you don't need to tiptoe. It's gone. It's climbed up into the ceiling somewhere, into the cavern ceiling. But you get the feeling that you're still being watched as you make your way forward. Where would you like to go, north or west?
I'm gonna search the room.
Search the room?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Make an investigation check for me, please.
Blair, can you stop?
Come on, Buck. You gotta sit there and be good.
10 plus 2 is 12.
Okay.
Blair,
So
stop.
you have a bit of a squeeze. Have a look around. You don't see a lot of crazy, but you do manage to, as you cross over a bridge, look down into the fissure, into the crevasse, and you see a glint. There's a little bit of a glint down the bottom of the cavern. It looks deep. It looks very deep, but it looks like you could potentially climb down there if you wanted to.
Oh, I have a potion of climbing, I'm just saying.
You have a potion of climbing?
Yep.
You could use that if you want to. It means you wouldn't have to worry about making an ability check.
Yeah. But I can't get it yet, though.
No, leave it there. That's fine. I'll cross it off later. If you want to drink it. Yes? No?
Yep.
Okay, so you drink your potion of climbing. You're able to climb down and have a look around. You can feel an unnatural cold at the bottom of the crevasse. And it seems like there's some sort of cool feeling, but there's also a bit of a smell down here as well. And at the bottom of here, you can see there is what appears to be, from a distance, gnawed bones and potentially a body as well.
Okay. I'm gonna just...
And you can see there's that glint as well.
Okay, I'm gonna walk down there.
Okay, so you make your way across there. We just had a surprise mystery guest come home, everybody, which is very exciting. You make your way into... That's okay. Do you want to get out?
Yeah, there's...
That's right. You're okay. We're going to sneak in. Come here, Noah. You're right. Come this way.
Blurry.
Unapologetically live, ladies and gentlemen. But that's okay.
Yeah.
Because the payoff is going to be quite fantastic. All right. So... Yeah, that's okay. So you make your way along the crevasse and you make your way over to the body, to where the glinting is, and you can see there's a slight sort of cubby hole area there, but jutting out from the cubby hole is a treasure chest.
Ooh, treasure! Yes, go open it.
You want to open it? You want to open it?
Yeah!
All right, so you open the chest and you have a look through the chest and you find 160 silver pieces.
I have no silver pieces.
You do now. 160 silver pieces, 120 gold pieces. There are 5 malachite gems in here. It's like a big gemstone, and there's 5 of them in there. There is also, my friend, 2, not 1, but 2 potions of healing.
I have 3 at the moment.
No, you used 1 last time. So that's we didn't take it out. So you've got that there, and you've got those gold pieces and the 5 gems as well.
Can I use one now?
Potion of healing.
Yeah.
Yes, you can. Oh my gosh, how did you do that?
I don't know what.
You've rolled 4 and 4, 2d4 plus 2, 10 hit points.
10 healing points.
10 hit points that you get to gain, yes.
10.
That is the maximum you can get on that potion of healing. Well played. Well rolled, I should say.
Oh, that puts me on 27.
Good job. That makes you a bit more healthy.
Yeah.
All right. So you, what would you like to do now? You're still at the bottom. There is some sort of corpse there as well.
Mhm.
If you want to check that out, or do you want to go?
I'm gonna
back
check
out?
the corpse.
You're gonna have a look. Okay. So I need you to make an investigation check for me, please.
Investigation. I plus. Is that my investigation?
Yep. So you D20 plus 2. Okay, so you can see it's definitely a body. It looks like there's been a bit of a broken fight. There's gnawing on the bones. Whoever this was, they've been there a little while, but not enough to decompose. It looks like they've been partially eaten. Yes, exactly. The smell invading your nostrils will make you do that, I think. You're right.
Yeah.
Okay, so what would you like to do? You can either stay where you are, or you can climb out and go continue exploring.
Sorry.
You're right.
That was my potion of healing. Just
That was your potion of healing that did that. Okay, fair enough. That's it.
I'm going to see if I can find if like there's well, we heard the Northic was scratching some rocks, but I guess it was eating them. So I'm gonna check around and see if there's big rocks, but there's been a big chunk taken out of them.
Okay, so you won't have to roll for this one. There's no sign that the rocks have been gnawed on. It's just this body that's at the bottom of the crevasse, the bottom of this ravine.
I'm gonna go back to where I met the Northic.
Okay, so you've used your potion of climbing, but that would still be in effect, so you would be able to climb up without having to roll for it. So you make your way back up. You have the option of going into you can go back to the southern area, you can go west, or you can go north.
I want to go back to the Northic way.
So yeah, no Northic's in that area. Do you want to go to the south area, or west, or north?
The west.
The west, okay. So you make your way forward as you see a little corridor that sort of bends northward as you make your way through this corridor. And as you go to leave the area, you hear in the back of your mind, "Bring me lives, bring me flesh." And it sort of fades away as you get further away. And there's a reminder that obviously the Northic is expecting you to bring it some treats, effectively. As you make your way down, you see what looks like a stairwell that leads further down, although this stairwell is more manufactured. It looks like it's actually part of the main area of the manor cellar. So, yeah, I'll bring out the map for you. So you are now heading down here,
What was the Northic?
all in this area here. So you came in here, you traversed all the way up, you went down into the crevasse and you made your way up, but you're effectively looking at this set of stairs down here.
Okay, I'll go up there.
Which way? So you come down the corridor, you've got a northern door and a southern door.
Here, to 11.
You want to go to the northern door? So you go through the northern door. How do you open the door? Do you just open it? Do you barge in? Do you want to listen?
I'm gonna do this.
You're going to try and sneak in?
Yeah, because if I do this, somebody's gonna come up behind me.
Okay, so you check in behind you as well
So like,
as you open the door. So you're not looking into the room.
wait. I'm gonna get my great and then turn and then quickly and then run in and close the door.
Okay, so to make it clear, you're prepping your weapon, you're looking back down the corridor, and you're opening the northern door without looking into the room.
Okay, so I hold the door, get my great axe, do that.
Yep.
When I open the door quickly, and then run inside and then close the door.
Run in and close the door. Okay.
Actually, I'm gonna speed walk in and then close the door.
Okay. So, ooh, that's interesting.
Oh.
All right. So no, it's okay. So you make your way in, and there is what looks like it could be a library of sorts. There's books and papers lining the wall. Don't look over here. This is my area. There's books and papers and things lining the wall. There's amulets, retorts, some sort of science experiment going on as well. In the midst of it all, as you burst into the room, a single solitary rat lies in the middle of the room, and it just gets, it looks up at you, like surprised that you're there, and then starts to scurry around and all the rest of it as well.
I'm gonna chase that rat.
You want to chase the rat? Okay, I need you to make an athletics check, please.
And acrobatics.
No, athletics.
Athletics +4.
Yeah, you got to roll for it though.
9.
Not even
10,
close.
11, 12,
Not even
13.
close. So as you go to dive on this rat, it scurries through, and there's a hole in the wall that leads, you assume, to the next room. It darts through there, it disappears from you. It's gone.
I'm gonna check the books and stuff.
You want to check the books and stuff? Roll for investigation for me, please.
11, 12, 13.
13. So you have a look around. You can't see anything of interest so far as you look around through the books and everything else as well. You're not provisioned in Dwarvish, so you can't read that one. You find references to a mystical mace, but that's not really helping. It doesn't give you the location. Just there's references to a mace that may or may not exist in a cave somewhere else in the world, and there is very little in terms of treasure. There's a couple of potions, but you can't recognize exactly what they are.
Okay. I'm gonna see if I can put my little dragon eye into the hole and see if I can see anything.
You want to have a look through the rat hole?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So if you want to have a look through the rat hole, can you...
Make a small check?
No, it's not make a small check because you can get down to it. It's just a question of whether or not you can see what's going on in the room next to you.
I don't have dark vision, that's eye physic.
No, that's okay. Make a perception check for me.
Perception.
So it's just a straight roll. You got no bonus on it. Okay, so you look through. You can't quite get the angle low enough to actually see, and all you can see is a bit of carpet that's on the floor in the room beyond. That's it. You can't get enough of an angle to see what else is beyond that wall. It looks like it's a carpeted area in the next room. So you can either go into the next room and see what happens, or you can go back and go south. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna go to the next room. The
Alright.
carpet room.
The carpet room. How are you going to enter? What are you going to do next? You're going to tiptoe? Okay. Do you want to just rush in, or do you want to listen at the door?
Listen at the door.
Okay, so you make your way up to the door. How do you listen? How do you do
I'm
that?
just gonna. So I'm gonna do that.
Yep, with your dragon ears. Okay. So as you make your way up to the door and you put your ear to the door, you hear a scuffling, and you assume it's the rat. But as you listen more and more closely, you hear what sounds like a voice, and then you hear maybe a second voice as well, but you can't really make it out. The scurrying and scuttling now sounds much more intense, much more louder, much more resonant, and there seems to be a little bit more of a commotion the longer you leave things.
I'm gonna see if I can hear what it is.
Okay, so you want to roll a perception check. Yeah, okay, so you'd be able to hear that you can hear some scurrying around. You can hear a gruffer, deeper voice that sounds full of authority, saying on the lines of, it just sort of sounds like he's giving some commands and instructions. You hear a gruff in the background, but you also hear, above everything else, you hear a little bit of a whimper as well, like a moan. All right, so turn so you can see. You need to make a stealth check to make sure that no one notices you.
Still.
+2. Okay. So as you open the door a crack, as you turn the knob, you just hear, and everything goes silent in the room. Everything you can hear behind you is just dead quiet all of a sudden, and you push open the rest of the door, and you take in the surroundings. What you see is not what you expect. You can see there is a rat that is sort of scurrying around the room. There is a dirty, great big bugbear with a patch over his eye facing the door. There is what looks like a secret passage the other side of the room that is slightly ajar. And up against the wall, slumped in the corner, looking very unkempt, is another figure. How do you make your way in?
What is it? Figure bones? Or...
Someone who's tied up.
Is it a wizard? Does it look like a wizard?
No, they don't look like a wizard. What do? You just stand in the doorway?
No, I'm gonna get my great axe and chunk this big guy's head.
Roll initiative. Let's get into it. So we're going to bring out a bugbear of craziness.
3.
Roll again.
Oh, okay. 20.
Oh, gosh, your rolling is just terrible. Hate you so much. Okay.
Hey!
All right, so we have a
Bugbear.
Okay, here we go. Now, so as you make your way in, you're going to be first to act. We see that the bugbear is probably about 25 feet from you, and it's turned its attention solely to you. It has an eye patch over one eye. It's about probably 15 feet away from this figure that's tied up in the side of the room.
Okay, so I know what I'm gonna do.
Go
So
for
my
it.
first act.
Yes.
Alright. So I'm gonna run up. So my critic's gonna run up and be like, chop this guy's head.
You're just going to charge the bugbear. Make an attack roll for me, please, with your great axe.
Plus a sensitivity.
Yeah. That's an 18, which hits. So roll for damage. That's this one here.
1d12 plus 4.
That one. 6 points of damage for our friend here.
Bugbear.
So as you go to make the strike, you land the blow, but the bugbear does sort of sidestep a little bit and only takes it sort of a brunt of it. It's done some damage, but it's not going to be a strong blow. The bugbear is going to, in turn, make its way over to retaliate, obviously being close proximity. It's got a giant morning star, and it's going to swing. However, we are rolling disadvantage because it has an eye patch over one eye. 11 doesn't hit, does it?
No.
Just misses. Okay, so you get this morning star just slicing across the air, but you manage to duck out of the way. You do, but it's your turn to act.
Okay, so I'm gonna do my hand axes.
2 hand axes. Yes, you can attack with both of those.
Yep.
You'll only get one that'll have the full bonus. The second one is just a straight roll. Go for it.
So my bonus one is gonna be through the head.
There's only one target, so your bonus one with the bonus is going to go for the head.
Plus 18.
That's 24, which definitely hits. Roll your attack.
One
of those plus 4. 8 points of damage. Smacks him in the
Do I
face well
need
and
to do
truly.
another one?
And then you get your second hand axe attack with your 2-hand attack action, which is just a straight roll.
Okay.
Oh no, that one misses. So the first blow connects. The second one, the bugbear lifts its arm with its morning star and manages to parry that blow away. And it's going to make another swing as it parries you away. It brings the morning star straight down. It's going to try and go for your shoulder, and 14 hits. Is that correct?
Oh yeah.
14 hits. So with the morning star, we are going to do some serious damage here because it's 2d8 worth of damage.
2d8.
And it's 6 points of piercing damage you're going to take.
Okay.
Have you got resistance to that? No. So 6 straight up points of piercing damage. And then it's your turn to act. Alright. It's okay. You're good.
It's very good.
There we go. Your turn.
Can I use my?
Nice and loud for me.
Can I use my great axe?
You can use your great axe. Go for it.
Okay. So I'm gonna slice across. So it's.
You're gonna go for the neck. Go for it. 9 plus 6 is 15. Not enough. So you go to swing. The morning star comes up, parries it out of the way once more. And our friend here is going to make another attack. There is a gruff smirk on his face as he grunts. And it's then that you also see out of the corner of your eye this person who's tied up on the ground. While they look like they've been beaten, they look like they're still in relatively good health. So, not that you know what's going on, but there's potentially an ally there. Anyway, the fellow is...
I just need to ask
No, he's going to come in. Morningstar's going to slice across, but you manage to duck slightly to the side. Morningstar misses absolutely entirely.
I just want to ask you one tiny question.
Yes.
Does this guy have a musical instrument?
Well, you can investigate, but that'll take your action.
Yeah, I don't want to do that until I defeat it.
All right, off you go. What's next?
Great axe again. Shot across it.
Go for it. Good luck. That is a dirty 20, which definitely hits. Roll your damage.
12 plus 4. 4
is 8 damage.
Yeah, I defeated that.
No. So the bugbear has taken the brunt of that. Where have you hit? Where did you go for with your great axe? Try for the neck. So you don't connect with the neck, but you do connect with the shoulder that's holding the Morningstar. So our friend here will be rolling disadvantage on his next roll. There's a moan as he takes this damage, and he sort of staggers back a little bit as well. He's clearly not having the best time. However, he manages he throws the Morningstar into his other hand and swings with it, and it strikes true on a natural 20, a critical hit. So we are rolling damage here. We have got 14 points of piercing damage. I never roll this well, ever. It is your turn. It's your turn. That'll cost you an action. Are you sure? All right. We're using our final potion of healing. 4, 5, 6 points.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Now.
All right, go for it. So you use 6 points of healing. No, that's it. That's your action, is to heal. All right. So our friend here, grinning with the craziness of everything else, you can just see this. The room. He rolls for an attack. It's cocked, and a 13 hits. Yes, it does. Oh dear. This could end very prematurely, folks. Here we go. Hopefully we roll badly. I had my one great roll. It's done now. That's what happens. 4 points, Charlotte. 4 points of piercing damage. Yours.
Alright, if he's using a Morningstar, that's him. Bringing out my Morningstar.
Morningstar versus Morningstar. Fantastic. All right, so go for it. So you roll your attack. This one. +6.
19.
25 most definitely hits. What did you get to roll? 1d8?
Yeah, 1d8 plus 4.
You go. Roll well. 6 points of damage. Okay, so as you swing the Morningstar against the Morningstar, the bugbear goes to block it with the other Morningstar, but just can't seem to lift the Morningstar. Lapses forwards onto his knees. He's not out of the woods. He's not out of action yet, but he's definitely on his last legs. As it is, he's going to use half the movement to stand up again and try and take a swing at you with his own Morningstar. A 10 doesn't connect, I'm pretty sure. No. So he sort of feels a bit woozy. You can see that you've actually knocked some of the eye patch slightly askew a little bit, and you can actually see he's got an actual eye under the eye patch. The eye patch is apparently purely cosmetic. Your turn.
Morningstar.
Go for it. Morningstar. Straight up. D20 roll. +6 bonus.
Oh yeah, that definitely is.
14 + 6 is a dirty 20. That definitely hits. So you need a
One
D8.
D8.
Where are we? D8. There you go. 2 and 4 damage. I know I shouldn't do it, but I'm going to. Charlotte, how do you want to do this?
Kill him!
Okay, so describe it for me.
Kill him. So I'm gonna kill him across the bed.
Okay, so the Morningstar swings nice and low, just
across his butt.
and rips across him. You spill a little bit of intestine and stuff and everything else. The bugbear's life just goes out of his eyes, collapses forward, boom, into a pile. There's a dust cloud that comes up as the weight of the bugbear collapses onto the ground.
Because he is butt dead.
Out of action, he's butt dead. That's the term we use, that's fine. So now that the bugbear is taken out of action, you can take in your surroundings. There is this person. You want to go untie them?
Yeah, I'm going to use my javelin to just cut through.
You're going to use a javelin? You've got a hand axe that can cut through the ropes.
No, I am not. I do not want to kill this guy.
Okay, so you cut through the ropes, and that reveals another person that you can have a chat to.
Hello.
Who is?
Oh, well, I dare say you are a strong person. Thank you for saving me.
Thank you for saving me. Okay.
Thank you.
Oh, I never thought I'd get out of here. This thing captured me when I was asleep.
Don't talk to me. Talk to the person who's rescued. I think she's been taken aback by the sudden surprise of discovering this person who is sitting here tied up. This person, I guess, would you like to introduce yourself and let Yetnet know a little bit more about who you are and what you're doing there, please?
Yes. My name is Nitro Drakehand. I was out exploring the woods, trying to find some food for the local tavern, and, well, I went to sleep and woke up tied up. I'm a very short person. I'm only about 5 foot tall, so quite short. I have big fat feet. They're all hairy. And I'm just in some tattered clothes at the moment because this thing has taken everything from me.
So you can ask the state of Nitro, whether he's in good spirits, good health, does he need any healing, anything like that?
I don't know.
You don't know? Well, what do you want to do? Does he know anything about what's been going on?
No.
No. Do you want to ask him what was happening in the room before you burst in? Yes. So ask away.
Do you know what was happening here? Because I do not.
Well, not a great deal. I was just on some errands, fixing some stuff in the local woods, and this thing captured me when I was in the mid-sleep.
So, Nitro, can you make an investigation roll for me, please?
I certainly can. Where is it? Investigation. Would be a 7.
7. Okay, so while you're not aware of the entire comings and goings of the commotion, as far as you're aware of what you bore witness to before Yetnet, this Dragonborn, burst in, you would have seen a rat start scurrying across the floor, which alerted this wizardy figure that was in the room with you before to the presence of the Dragonborn approaching, which then prompted the wizard to use the escape secret hatch there, which is still slightly ajar, to make a clean getaway, leaving this bugbear in control and in charge, obviously to his detriment. So while you're not entirely sure of who this person was, you know that they were definitely some sort of mage or some sort of wizard that you bore witness to. So you may pass that information on if you would like.
I certainly will.
I know. I probably shouldn't take him though.
Take who?
The wizard, because I know someone who wants it.
Well, the wizard's not there. The wizard's gone through the secret
I know,
entrance.
yeah.
So what do you want to do? Do you want to pursue the wizard or?
I think I want to go after the wizard.
After the wizard? Do you want to bring Nitro with you? Yeah.
You would like some help? Yes, I would love to come with you. It seems to be safer with you than anywhere else. Are you very injured at the moment?
Are you injured?
No.
Yes.
But I've got, yeah.
You are? Well, hang on. Come here for a second. I'll reach out and I'll touch her and I'll cast Cure Wounds.
Cure Wounds.
I'll give a little bit of health back. You'll heal up 7 healing points.
There you go. What do you say?
Thank you.
You are most welcome.
I don't know why I'm talking like this, but I just want to.
That's okay. All right. So you can see there is a secret passage that leads on the eastern wall. You can make your way through that passage if you like, or you can go. You want to go through that way? Yeah. Okay. So you make your way through. There's a set of stairs that lead back up. So you've obviously been down in the depths, and the steps start to slowly make an incline, and they come to rest at another door that is again slightly ajar, as though it's just been pushed through. How do you proceed?
Is there a bow nearby?
I think I just want to tiptoe because I don't want to.
You want to speak clearly so we can.
I want to tiptoe.
You want to use stealth?
Yes.
Okay. Can you both make stealth rolls for me, please?
I can. Can I have a quick look for a bow that is somewhere nearby?
Yes,
I hope.
of course you can. Yes. So in the room that you were just in before you make your way out, there is a small chest to the side that is lying, sort of just sitting there. It doesn't look to be locked as such.
I would like to flip the lid and have a look to see if my weaponry's in there at least.
You flip the lid, you find a collection of belongings that are not just yours, so your belongings are in there, but you also see there's a collection of other bits and pieces, including a lovely collection of various eye patches, which are obviously been put there by our bugbear friend.
Understood.
Very fashionable.
Oh yes.
Well,
Alright.
I'll forego the eye patches, but I will take my weaponry in particular.
You're eye patch girl, so Yetnet's going to pick up an eye patch.
Okay.
That's fine.
And
so you
I will
collect all
join.
your gear, and then you go to make your way out.
Yes.
You need to make a stealth check for me, please.
Yes. 23.
23 definitely is fine.
11.
11, that's okay. So as you make your way into the next area through this secret door, there we go. Through the secret door area, you can see what looks like a storeroom. If you look south, you can actually see the natural forming cavern that our friend was in earlier. This area, though, is finished with stone blocks and other bits and pieces as well. There's a flagstone floor here, several barrels that are stored against the wall, a lot of empty crates, what looks like straw for packing so that things don't break, hammers, pry bars, nails, that sort of stuff. The cavern goes right the way down to the south, and as you look south, you can see the beginnings of some morning light starting to come through a fair distance away at the southern end of the cavern.
I want to go towards the light.
Well, you've got someone else with you now, so you can't just charge ahead. You've got to talk about it with your compatriot here.
To which, I think we should run to the light.
You think we should go towards the light?
Confirm with Nitro there.
I think
Yes.
we should run to
Yeah.
it.
You think we should run? You don't want to go stealthily out of here?
Stealth run.
Stealth run. Quick stealth. Stealth at quick pace.
Yeah.
And you're going south. Yes?
Yeah, to the light.
Following?
So we're going to try and make our way out. I need you to make you need to make a stealth check, both of you, please.
A fast stealth check.
It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Okay.
17.
Yeah, so you have 17.
24.
The creature in question, the Nothic that we encountered earlier, is completely occupied with other things. It must have sensed that there has been some death. It's actually nowhere in the cavern. It's nowhere near you at all, and you can make your way quite freely without any incident. And you can hear.
I
Yetnet,
don't know if that's so promising.
Well, Yetnet, you can hear in the back of your mind, and Nitro, you might start to pick up some of this as well. You just hear, "I've been given lies, lies," and you can feel this. I don't know, this disgusting sort of crunching inside of a head space, as though someone's devouring something.
Okay, that's probably the wizard.
Probably the wizard.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the wizard. I think it's the Nothic that's found the bugbear and is enjoying a meal. So you're making your way south. You have the option to go back the way you came, or you can go. You can see there's an entrance to a cave that leads out into some morning. The hues of morning light starting to appear.
So where am I in?
So I'll bring the map up. So you are making your way, and you can go out this way, or you can come down here.
I'm gonna go. We're gonna go out the down like the down.
We were going out of here, are we?
Out the south way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yep.
you're heading straight out into the beginnings of some morning light, and you find yourselves back on the outskirts of Phandalin on the eastern side of town. at the base of a cavern system. If you look back up behind you, you can see the ruins of Tressendar Manor sitting there at the beginnings of that morning sun that starts to come through. Now, this would be the first time you've seen the sun, Nitro, in probably about a day and a half, maybe 2 days. So obviously that's an experience for you.
It's a bit bright, a bit harsh on the eyes to start with.
Can we head back to the Stone Hill Inn? Because I think I really need a big drink.
Well, that's up to you and Nitro.
Yes.
I would enjoy a big drink as well, I must admit.
She didn't say a big drink, she said a beer drink.
A beer drink, yes. Okay, that will do as well.
Okay, so you can make your way down towards the Stone Hill Inn. You would be assisting each other because obviously you've both taken some hits.
Yes.
As you make your way forwards, you can see townsfolk starting to cast an eye your way. They're starting to pay you more attention. And as they see you're obviously a Dragonborn and a halfling who's taken a few injuries.
It was crazy.
Well, some of these people recognise you because they haven't obviously seen the Dragonborn in some time, and they recognise you obviously having taken some beatings. And as you make your way down towards past the sleeping giant, the Tack House, where you had your incidents last night.
Yeah, and the beer drinking guy, like he took like 7 or 9 drinks.
Well, as you make your way forward, you can see a familiar figure lying sort of face down in the middle of the road.
No, not this guy.
Doesn't appear to be conscious as such, but clearly has had a big night after you left. It's up to you if you want to interact with him or not, but otherwise you can keep on.
Hi, Ben or John, whatever your name is.
You hear a gurgle, which is a bit like, but it's incomprehensible.
That's not Ben or John, isn't that Greg? I thought that was Greg, wasn't it? That's not Ben or John. His name's Greg, isn't it? That's what he said the other night when I met him.
Well, in any case, he's incomprehensible, murmuring. You want to smack his butt? Oh dear. All right. You need to make let's call it sleight of hand. Sleight of hand roll.
So you mean a human hand, though?
Sleight of hand roll.
Okay.
+2.
7, 8, 9.
Okay, so you go up to whack him, and despite the force of the whack from a Dragonborn's clawed hand, he doesn't wake up. He's not getting up. He's obviously had a big night. All right, so you continue on towards the Stonehill Inn.
Yes.
As you make your way,
I can't take this guy anymore.
you don't have to take that guy anywhere. He's unconscious. He's had a good night. All right. So while Yetnet composes herself, so you make your way towards the Stonehill Inn. You can see people are starting to come out of their homes, go about their business, go about their days. Some of them do pay you a little bit of mind. No one seems to really recognise you, Nitro, as such. They're sort of some of them may as you make your way in. As you approach the Stonehill Inn, you can see a tall, dark, and slightly handsome older gentleman on the front doorstep, and he seems to be looking down the street in the opposite direction, keeping an eye out for something. You recognise this man as Sildar Hallwinter, who has obviously come out of his room, and obviously he's ready to sort of figure out what's been going on and have a chat.
Sildar, over here.
Sildar turns, sees you straight away, and a big broad smile appears, and he waves you over. He waves you over, and you make your way up to him. Well, my friend, you seem to have had quite the adventure while I was getting some much-needed bed rest.
I brought a friend back with me.
Oh, you did? Hello,
Yes,
young
hi.
man. What is your name?
My name is Nitro. It's good to see you.
Indeed it is. You must be well. How do you know each other?
She may have saved me.
Yeah.
Oh, she does that.
Yes, very well. Oh, you as well.
Been one of those friends of hers as well. Been saved
yes.
by her. We were in a cave system as well.
I may or may not have been in there. Yes.
Yes,
He was in a cavern system as well. Seems to be a trend going on
It
here.
was kind of a bit.
bugbear? Here?
With
in
an eye
Phandalin?
patch. With an eye patch. Like had a Rolado.
But to tell me, what else was going on in that space? What happened down there?
He wasn't the one in
I know.
control. There was a wizard who was in charge, but he took off pretty quickly.
What's that you say, a wizard?
Oh, a wizard, yes.
Very strange indeed. Very
Yes.
strange turn of events indeed. You see,
Why do you say that?
why do I say that? Well, I have an ulterior motive for being here in Phandalin. I've been looking for a friend of mine, Iano Olbrek. He seems to have gone missing. He's part of the Lord's Alliance like myself. And, well, there's been all sorts of reports of dangers happening here in Phandalin, in town, to do with
Well,
Redbrands, etc.
I got to meet with the Gnostic.
A Nothic? And you've lived to tell the tale. That's quite a feat, and maybe a story for another time. But this man here, Iano, has been missing for some time, and while I was helping Gundren, I thought I'd come down here to see what might be afoot.
Well, I think I saw a wizard, but then he ran away down the passageway where we came out to the sunlight, so he might be around here somewhere.
And you say, my friend, my halfling friend, you say you saw this wizard, that's correct?
Yes, absolutely.
Tell me, did he have a beard, a long black beard? Did he have, he carries a staff that's made of glass?
I don't remember the staff, but he had a hood up, so I couldn't really see his face at all.
Indeed, these are a strange turn of events. If this is indeed the case, and my friend Iano has turned to the other side, then we could find ourselves in all sorts of trouble. But no matter, I'm sure that we will track him down eventually, my friend.
Can we go inside? Because I really need a beer drink.
You need a beer drink? Well, of course. How silly of me, standing on ceremony. Come in. And he leads you, ushers you inside. And as you make your way in, you can hear the hustle and bustle. There's people sort of serving tables. People are getting breakfast. There's Toblin behind the counter, the innkeeper. Oh, well, my friend, welcome back. Oh, my goodness, he says as he sees you. You look like you've been in quite a fight. And who's your wee friend here?
So I'm Nitro. Hi.
Nitro.
Nitro it is. Well, nice to meet you, young man. Nice
Pleasure,
to see you.
pleasure.
How can I help you?
Beer drinks.
You'd like an ale, then, would you?
Yes, please.
A
Tall glass.
tall glass. My, all right.
Well, just a normal glass for me. It'll be a tall glass for me, though.
He sort of looks you over and he goes, right, so let me see if I got this right. A pint for the Dragonborn and a half pint for the halfling?
It'll probably be big enough for me.
All right, I tell you what, you look like you've been through a lot. And to be honest, I heard about your running with those Redbrands last night. Thank you for the favor. And he turns behind the counter and he pours these drinks and slams them down on the bench. That's on the house.
And then, that.
Straight in, not even hesitating, not even savoring.
Not even.
You can't burp in anyone's face. You can if you want to, but it's probably going to end well. So,
No, I'm just going to burp everywhere.
Sildar is there with you. Yetnet's having a few too many beers, which is fine.
I had two.
Sildar is there, and he sort of, now that you've had a bit of refreshment, my friends, we really must be getting on to try and track down where my friend Gundren may have gotten to. It appears that those Cragmores have taken possession of him and got him held captive somewhere.
Let's go back to the way we came out of, because he might have just went straight not down.
The wizard?
Yeah.
You want to go find the wizard? Okay. Sildar sort of stews this over for a moment and he says, if we need to go seek where Iano may have been, and there was lots of folk, Redbrand folk, I mean, you said you chased one down into underneath of the Tressendar Manor, maybe they have more information.
I think he's been eaten. He's been eaten.
The Redbrand, you never found him. So who knows? He could be anywhere. Now, I do know, as you know yourself, they do frequent that sleeping giant. So if you can find one of these Redbrand Ruffians, maybe you can ask them a few questions and figure out what on earth is actually happening here.
How about we all go?
They got to ask.
How about we all go together?
Well, I mean, I would happily accompany you. I owe you my life, after all. And I'm a good tracker. I can get us through, forests and all sorts of things pretty easily.
Yes.
All right, so Sildar sort of stews over this again and sort of thinks about all the different events that have happened. And he sort of turns to you both and he says, I must stress, this is going to be quite dangerous indeed, as you've already discovered. So perhaps, though, if you're looking to find the Redbrands, you could either start at the Sleeping Giants, or maybe even ask some of the townsfolk that have been, had crimes committed by the Redbrands against them. Surely they'll know where to find some of these folk.
Yes, let's go ask the townspeople.
Yeah.
Right, so what would you like to do now? Would you like to stay in the tavern, or do you want to make your way out into the street?
Out into the street.
Yeah, I will accompany.
Yep. So both of you, who's leading out into the street?
Probably me. Yeah.
For in-town work, I dare say you'd be much better than I would. But as we do get outside, I'd like to draw some circles. I'll draw some circles in the dirt in front of the place, and I'll summon my Drake, a companion.
So can you describe how that appears then, the Drake?
Yeah, the Drake is a reddish color, orange-red, small creature that looks kind of like a big dog, and has a few little flames wisping out of its mouth as it's freshly summoned from the circle. And I just give it a nice pat on the head and say, "This is my Drake companion, and he can help us. Well, with most things, he's got a good keen sense of smell, and hopefully will be a bit intimidating with these Redbrands."
Brilliant.
Oh, I know how we can pick up the scent. My gold packet thing, because the Redbrand thing.
That's right, but you don't have that. Whoever stole the gold pouch has still got the gold pouch. We never actually found out where they were. Okay.
So, all my gold that I've got is now gone. I don't have it.
Not all of them. Only one pouch is gone. So the three of you, yourself, Nitro, and Yetnet, and of course our new Drake, make your way out into the street. And you can see now there's more activity. People are going about their business. There's the Town Master's Hall. There's Barton's Provisions. There's all sorts of stuff. You can go anywhere you like.
Can we go to the Shrine of Luck?
Well, you better check with your compatriot and see
Can
what
we
you
go
like.
to the Shrine of Luck?
Oh, where is it? I don't think I've been there.
Okay with that, Nitro?
Yeah, I'm happy to go. I've never been there before.
Never been there before? Well,
I don't believe so.
all right. So the good thing is the Shrine of Luck is located directly across the town square from the Stonehill Inn, and you can actually see it from where it is. It's a nice structure of stone and carvings that resemble all sorts of bells and whistles that relate to gods of luck. There is, she looks like a bit of a nun. She's one of the sisters of the order, and she's tending to the shrine, and obviously lives in the building behind. And you can see her at the front, making her way around. She's not an older lady, but she is getting on in years. Still seems quite nimble with her long fingers as she tends to the flowers and things that have been left at the shrine. And she looks up and smiles as you approach. Hello there. How may I be of assistance?
Do you know anything about the Redbrands that have been stealing from everyone?
There's an expression on her face that just changes almost instantly as soon as you mention the Redbrands. So she was all smiles, and then as soon as you mention them, she sort of withdraws a little, and she looks left and right as though she's looking to see if anyone else is within earshot. And then she sort of leans forward to you, Yetnet. What would you know of the Redbrands?
Well, they stole one gold pouch from me.
Thievery. Yes, they've been thieving all over these parts. And what of you? What is your business with the Redbrands, young fellow?
I'm just here to escort this one to help end their charades that they seem to like doing. I'm curious as to whether you know if they do anything else apart from thievery. Is there anything more that they're into?
Well, there's reports of all sorts of crimes, thievery, intimidation, chicanery, and potentially even a bit of kidnapping from time to time, from what I hear.
I heard about some kidnapping, yes.
Yes, well, as it is a bit, there's no real truth to the matter. No one's really reported that they have been taken by Redbrand, so there's no
Have you
real
seen
way.
any of the Redbrands?
Yes, they're here all the time. You can see them marching up and down the street, in fact. And she points a sort of half bony, long finger down this street behind you, leading south. There's some now. And you see, as you turn, two robed, red-cloaked figures. You can't see their faces, but you can see them, and they're sort of striding somewhat with purpose towards the direction you are at the Shrine of Luck.
Please tell me it's not. Okay. Maybe we should walk towards them.
We could certainly do that. Do you want to like ambush them while they're walking up the street and take them captive?
You want to ambush and go for captive? Okay, so you will need to. They're probably about 60 feet away at this point, so you've got time potentially to make yourself scarce. But you would need to roll stealth to see if you get hidden in time as to whether or not they notice you. Remember that Sister Garia, when you saw them, they did seem to be striding with purpose, so they will be moving a little faster than they would as a normal walk. So you've probably got about a turn and a half to make yourself scarce if that's what you want to do.
Okay, so I will disappear as best I can. Natural 20 on my stealth for a 27.
Oh, brilliant. Okay.
So I'm gone.
And Yetnet's rolled a dirty 20 as well. So you both scurry. Question, are you hiding in the same place or are you separating?
Hiding at the same place.
I'll actually get a little bit of distance between them so I can see if they're going to run or if they're coming within range. And I'll wait to see what this one does before I launch into any form of attack, per se.
He means you, yes. Okay.
Yes.
So in terms of where you've sort of separated and given yourselves a bit of distance, you watch as these two red-robed figures make their way forward, and they're striding forward, boom, boom, boom. They have definitely not seen you go into hiding and dart off the streets. That's definitely not going to happen, not on a 2.
Okay,
That's right, you can watch the exchange. They actually make their way up to the Shrine of Luck, and they head straight to Sister Gariel, and you can't make out the entirety of the conversation, but there is the brandishing of a dagger by one of them, and there is a hand coming out from the other one. And Sister Gariel actually glances to where you're hiding, either side, and she reaches into a purse and begins to pull out some gold coins to pay off these thugs that are obviously hitting her up for protection money or something of the like. What would you like to do?
I don't want to run now because I don't want to get stabbed in the belly button again.
That's very
Well, you do have support from myself and my little dragon friend as well. So if you want to, you'll have extra stuff. You won't just be 1 on 2. It'll be 3 on 2. So if you want to, I'll back you up.
Is there only 2 Redbrands?
There is just the 2.
And keep in mind, we only need one of them alive.
You hear what Nitro said? He said, keep in mind you only need one of them alive to talk.
Let's see if we can get behind one, and then let me see if I can put my dagger.
Okay, you need to roll for stealth, which is a +2 for you. It's a 17. Yeah, okay. So Yetnet is effectively going to move around behind, try and get behind one of them, the one that's intimidating Gariel.
Yep.
Yep, and she's successful, so she makes her way around. You actually have an opportunity to potentially grapple this Redbrand.
Can I threaten him with a morning star?
You want to threaten him with a morning star? What are you going to do? Are you going to make an attack, or are you going to try and intimidate? Attack. We are going to have an element of surprise. I need you all to roll initiative, please.
Which? D20?
Yeah.
Natural 6.
7, 8.
8.
What was your initiative?
17.
17.
That's good than mine.
Okay. So you will get a surprise attack because you have the element of surprise there. So I'll get you to make an attack roll straight up on this fellow with your Morningstar.
10
Plus your bonus.
6.
So 16.
Yep.
That hits.
1d8 plus 8.
So 8 damage. Okay. So without a word of warning, this dragonborn hulking figure manages to make her way up behind this Redbrand that is causing trouble, pulls out a Morningstar and just literally goes crack right across his back. This particular ruffian falls forward into the side, nearly taking out the sister of the Shrine of Luck in the process. The other Redbrand is startled and takes a couple of steps back. In terms of combat, in terms of layout, the second Redbrand, who wasn't performing the extortion, has his back to you, Nitro, just for your point of reference.
Yep.
But we are now in combat. Nitro, you are first to act.
I would like to try and incapacitate him by shooting at his leg. Hopefully I can stop him moving quickly at all.
The one with his back to you?
Yes.
Yep. Okay, I'm going to let you roll advantage on that because he doesn't know that you're there.
Cool. Okay, so I rolled a natural 1, but because I'm a halfling, I can re-roll natural ones, and that'll turn into a 24 to hit.
Which I think is appropriate considering you are at the Shrine of Luck, so that's fantastic.
Hey, it works.
That definitely hits. Roll for damage.
Okay, that is maximum 11.
11 damage.
Yes.
Okay, so as you pull the trigger and take a shot to try and incapacitate this ruffian, the shot goes through, but it actually connects a little higher than you thought you aimed, and you don't just take out the kneecap, you take out the entire knee assembly, patella, everything. This guy goes down like a sack of absolute you-know-what, crumbles forward, and is literally almost prone on the ground. The scream in agony alerts everyone that surrounds that area, and you see a few people turning to attention. And you actually, out of an alleyway, see a third ruffian turn the corner and is making his way towards you. He will join combat in 2 turns' time.
So, question: is there any boxes or carts or anything that's in the area?
There's a few that would be at the front of the tavern, which is probably about 30 feet on the other side of the road. So there would be some boxes and things there that you could use.
Yep.
But otherwise, there is not really a lot of other cover. You're pretty much open in the town square unless you want to hide behind the Shrine of Luck itself.
I would like to try to. Being a halfling, I can hide behind most things, even people my same size. And I'll get my little dragon friend to go stand next to my large dragonborn friend over there.
Okay, fantastic. So you're using that as a command for your dragon?
Yeah, that's my bonus action. So I'm just going to stand next to a cart, so hopefully I'm partially hidden or out of
you will be able to use your movement to get across there. And technically, you're still sort of in cover anyway. So if you want to stay where you are, you can.
Okay, I'll do that.
Yep.
Yep.
So that's fine. Our friend who's just gotten clobbered over the head with a Morningstar, it's going to be his turn to act. He's going to round on you. He's as he's turned, he's seen the shot. He snuck up behind him with a Morningstar. Of course, he's going to want retribution. That's just what happens. So he's going to make it. Oh gosh, I've wasted my best roll. So he's going to turn and swing, but because of the bludgeoning he's just received, he turns to swing and swings wide, misses completely, and spins back on himself, and he's left staring down at his mate on the ground, just sort of bewildered at what's going on. The fellow that is on the ground is sort of coughing and spluttering. He's going to try to stand, but he's going to have to make a check to see if he can actually do that. He manages to get up onto one knee, because the other one is obviously shattered to this point, and he's going to be looking around to see if he can see where the shot came from. Can you make a passive perception check, please, Nitro?
Passive
perception check. What's your passive?
Passive perception is 12.
Stealth. Sorry, roll for stealth.
Oh, passive stealth is 17, or I can roll for it, which will be 24.
Okay, so you managed to stay hidden. He can't find you. Only just, my friend. Only just. Okay.
Yes.
Which brings us to our third friend, who is now closing the distance. He's now 30 feet away. And then Yetnet, you're up. Yetnet is up with Nitro on deck.
Okay, so So do you know the one that's 30 feet?
Mhm.
I know you're gonna get a little bit overexcited, but can I throw a javelin at the third
You can
one?
certainly try and throw a javelin at him.
Because
You can.
it's my range is 30 feet.
Yes, so you're able to do that. You can. It's fine. So
Plus
roll your
D20
d20.
plus 6.
Yes, that definitely hits. So you turn and throw
1d4.
1d4 plus 4.
1d8 plus 4.
1d8 plus 4.
Can I add to that?
As you turn, you see the guy coming down the street because you've seen the attention, obviously, from the friend who's done the spin and everything else as well. You hurl this javelin with absolute precision. And as this guy is charging forward, you can see him sort of stop and just his eyes grow wide as this javelin literally lumps into his chest and knocks him back another 5 feet. He falls backwards and prone, but you can still see that he's sort of almost struggling to get up, but he's got this javelin to his chest.
Mr. Matt.
Hitting him to the floor.
Mr. Matt, sorry.
Yes.
So because she's within 30 feet of my little dragon friend, as she throws it, he kind of spits in the air and a ball of fire is in front of it as it passes through. Can you add another 1d4 to that damage, please?
Okay, yes, we can. So roll another d4. Because Nitro's Drake is adding fire damage. That, my friend, is enough. That extra bit of fire damage is enough to just basically...
Good
What
job.
happens is, in terms of the turn of events, the javelin literally flies through the air. As it does, the Drake spits out a ball of fire. Javelin passes through, and as it lands in this guy's chest, just erupts in a fireball. He falls back. You can still see a leg kicking, but the javelin hitting into the ground, he is not getting up at all.
Okay, good. He's dead.
Which brings us to Nitro.
I'd like to take another shot at that guy who's had his one knee shot out and see if I can take out the other knee.
Okay.
You're going to go for the other leg. Okay, sure.
Because why not?
Yeah, why not?
I mean, it's what you do, right?
That's it.
That would be a 17 to hit.
Does hit, yes.
Cool. So that damage would be a 9 damage.
Ooh, that's good.
And I don't want it to be lethal. I just want to incapacitate him so he can't move.
Okay. Again, your aim is slightly off.
Yes.
Just for the purposes of drama.
Yes.
You connect and it pierces through the upper thigh. This guy falls back down to the ground and he's almost lying motionless. He's screaming. You can see tears down his face. As he falls, he actually falls facing where you're hiding, and it's then that you see the recognition that he can actually identify where you are, and he's sort of bewildered. This little halfling's like taking pot shots, but he is not going to get up from that point. He's in a lot of pain. Which brings us back to our spinning around friend with his Morningstar, who is going to try to take a shot. He's watched the javelin fly and everything else, and he's almost looking around, looking really sort of unsure of himself.
Don't tell me he's just gonna fall back and like
Faint.
Yeah, he's going to make a break for it. He's going to make a break for it. So he's going to try and
I
dart.
am not doing this again. I'm gonna run after him again.
Well, he's going to head east to try and head east towards the sleeping giant tap room. However, as he tries to make a break for it, you get an attack of opportunity because you're all within 5 feet.
Yes.
And my
Alright,
Drake as well.
that's it. I'm gonna throw my Morningstar.
Your Drake would be because it was right next to it. Yes.
Love it.
Morningstar.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw it.
All right, you're gonna throw the Morningstar. Well, you're right close. You can take a swing as he goes past. That's fine.
Okay.
Roll for your attack.
6. Oh yeah, 6.
That's 12,
Yep.
which doesn't know you swing. He just manages to bolt away just a little bit. Is it just a little bit too quick for you? However, our Drake friend is going to make an attack as well.
Okay, let's see what my little Drake companion can do. Does a natural 20 do much with this thing? Plus 3 to hit.
Plus 3 to hit.
So natural 20.
Definitely hits. Yeah.
What's his damage from this one? Get that out of the way. It is a 1d6 plus 2. So that would be 3 on the dice. So 5 damage from just the normal. What does the natural do in your campaign?
It doesn't matter. In this case, it really doesn't matter. So what's the attack the Drake's doing? Just a general
So bite.
attack? A bite.
It's a bite attack, yeah.
So as this guy runs past, he dodges, he turns back and he's like, haha, you missed me, you missed me. And as he does that, he doesn't see the Drake flying in behind him, just grabbing him right here, chomping down on the shoulder and the jugular. And you just hear this high-pitched scream as he falls to his knees as the Drake just... And the Drake eventually lets go, but this guy's not getting up. We're now out of combat.
Yeah.
Sister Gariel is standing there sort of bewildered because all this has taken place in less than a minute, pretty much.
Yeah.
And she's got... She goes over, after she sort of collects her thoughts, she goes over to the fellow who's had the Drake on his neck and reaches in and grabs her gold pouch back and takes the gold coins back that she was being extorted for. And she turns to both of you with a wonderful sort of look of bewilderment and joy and appreciation for the both of you, but doesn't say anything. She seems to be a lady of few words.
Okay, I'll go pick up the javelin that was thrown at the gentleman and bring it back. But is his red cloak still intact, or is it burnt?
The one on fire, he's a crispy.
Okay, that's okay.
The other two have their red cloaks intact, though.
Good. I'd like to remove the red cloaks.
Oh, can I get one?
Yes.
Oh, it's up to you guys.
Yep.
Can I
So
have
you can have one and I'll have one.
Yep. So you both can add a red cloak to your inventory.
I don't know how to do it.
That's right. We'll do that for you. And you've got one friend who is lying on the ground, pinned by two arrows through the kneecaps, effectively 2 bolts through the kneecaps.
Sorry.
He is still making a noise and is probably making almost too much noise in some respects. You wouldn't want him to be making too much more noise because he will draw attention.
Can I knock him out, please?
You certainly can. How would you like to do that?
Bare fist.
Yep. So bludgeoning attack?
Just smack him to try and knock him out.
Yep, sure, that's fine. You don't need to roll for it because he's literally not long for this world either. No, I won't make you do that. Make you go too strong and just knock him out. So you hear this sniveling, and that's it. There's no other noise.
I just realised we didn't leave one alive because
No, you have.
Yeah, we did. He's
No,
unconscious.
Just knocked that one out. He was alive. The fellow that had the bolts through the knees, he's still alive. He's still breathing.
Yes.
Okay. What would you like to do next?
Drag him off the
that
street.
guy that is still alive.
No.
halfway.
Yeah, Nitro just knocked him out.
Oh, yeah.
We will
Ah.
drag him off the street, and I will turn to Yetnet and say, do you have a place that we can take this one where people won't necessarily hear him scream?
Ooh, I have an idea.
Mhm.
At the bottom of this place.
Really?
He's just suggested to take him to the Nothic.
Yes. Yes.
Well, why don't we take him there? We can do that and threaten to give him to the Nothic if he doesn't tell us what we want to know. How does that sound?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Alright.
I want him to
So
get
who's going to carry our friend?
Not me.
Yes. I'm not. I'm definitely not.
How strong are you again?
Oh, it's okay. I can bite him.
You can bite him.
Yeah.
That's fine. All right. So as you are debating over who's going to carry this almost
Okay, I'll do it
corpse, back down to where the Nothic is, the commotion and the fireball that you put in the middle of the street has drawn your friend Sildar out of the tavern, and he makes his way over with haste for a man of his age, anyway, as fast as he can, and he sort of eyes off what's going on. Said, "What on earth has happened out here?"
We just fighted 3.
Redbrands.
Redbrands, yep.
Or did you learn anything out of them, or did you get any information?
Well,
Not
we're
yet.
taking one to the Nothic. Because if he doesn't tell us what we need to know, he's going to get eaten by the Nothic.
That is absolutely a terrible but also slightly brilliant idea.
Well, I'm a Dragonborn. I know what a good idea is.
I tell you what, where did you put the cart?
The cart? What cart?
The cart that brought us here from Neverwinter.
I do not forget that was 10 days ago.
It was actually 1.5 days ago.
Okay. Back in days.
Did you take it to Barton's Provisions?
I think I did.
That was
Probably.
where it was meant to be. And then at that moment, you have a look around and Sildar sort of, and down the street from the inn, you can see that the wagon is still there.
Okay, you take that wagon up to Parliament, which presents me and my new friend here are going to the Nordic.
Okay, so Sildar listens to the suggestion. He says, "How about, if I may, you've got this wagon. If you don't want to lift the man, put him on the cart and wheel him down."
That's a good
That's
idea.
actually a good idea. Let's do that.
So Sildar assists you in helping get this unconscious man onto the cart. Are you going to just carry him or ride him down the street, or
We're gonna ride super fast so he keeps screaming.
no? He's unconscious.
He's out. He's not going to scream.
No, can't scream. All right. As you're making your way back down to the trail east, I need you to roll for, we'll call it sleight of hand in this instance, just to make sure that no one else notices what it is that you're transporting. So roll for sleight of hand, please.
15.
15. And sleight of hand. So +2. Okay. So as you creep past the sleeping giant, you can see it's pretty much dark. During the day, there's probably very little activity there. And you actually
The guy.
manage to get through.
Where's the guy?
Frederick/John is still on the ground. He hasn't moved. He's
Can
not
we
in the
knock
web
his
conversation.
head? Please, I want to talk to him.
You want to talk to him? No, he's not making any noise. And you trundle past on more pressing matters, and you make your way back to the mouth of the cavern system, and you can see the gaping maw of the cave leading into the darkness.
Oh, but we'll leave the wagon out here though.
You won't better fit the wagon inside.
Even if
How would you like to make your way in?
Creepily.
Stealth or?
Stealth.
Right,
Yep, stealth it is.
14 again.
14. Okay. So as you make
Same.
your way in, as you've both experienced this already, that smell, that stench hits you smack in the face once
That is
again.
the voice again.
We'll find out. So the stench is hitting you in the face. You make your way through.
Please, no comment.
As you make your way through into the cavern system, you see the bridge that leads, two bridges that lead eastward. There's a ramp that leads to the west, and you can see the columns and pillars and spires, but you can't seem to get a bearing on whether or not this creature is actually still inside this room. Who's leading?
Me.
Dragonborn is leading?
Yep, I'll attempt to drag this corpse with us.
So Dragonborn's just gone, Yetnet's gone in on her own and left you to drag the guy in. That's fantastic.
Oh, sorry.
Okay,
I didn't know
so
that.
with that in mind, can you make a strength check, please, Nitro? No, not you.
Does an 11 help?
Not in this instance, no. So as you make your way through and you start to pull, you unfortunately let out a little grunt and you hear as Nitro's dragging the
Fine,
guy
I'll
in
help.
here.
I'll help.
It's a bit too late for that. Without a word of warning, you hear scuttle, 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 scuttle. And then right almost directly in front of the Dragonborn Yetnet, you just hear whoomp, as our friend the Nothic lands squarely in front of you. And you just hear both of you a piercing noise through your minds. You bring me flesh.
And I'm going to yell at it and I'll say, yes, we have, but you must wait until we talk with this one first.
And there's a blink of the single eye from the Nothic as it sort of then, and you hear in your voice, in your minds, in your heads. You talk with the Dragonborn. That is enough, yes?
No, this one must speak.
This one is dead.
No, he's not.
Fine.
He's alive still, and you can have a live flesh, blood pretties if you wish. But you must wait until we are finished with it.
I do not wait. Please give me life.
I'll pull the bow and knock an arrow and say, you will wait.
Roll for persuasion. Or, sorry, intimidation.
Yeah, you know I get a +0 to this, but hopefully a natural 20 gets me something.
Okay, So there's a moment of hesitation. There's a blink again, and there's the shoulders drop, and the Nothic steps back 2 spaces. There's no communication, but you get the sense that there's reneging on the threat of just consuming this corpse.
Okay, now let's talk to this guy because I do not want to get eaten by this Nothic.
The Nothic steps back, so you can proceed with your interrogation.
Okay, let's talk to the guy now.
Would you like to try and wake him up? Do you reckon a splash of water would do it, or do you have another way of waking people up?
Well, I usually wake them up with my great axe, but I think water will do it.
Well, I mean, we could do that a different way. I'm going to grab one of the arrows that's in the thigh, and I'll yank it free.
Oh, yeah, pull them out. Yeah.
Yeah. Make a medicine check for me.
Medicine check? What?
Hey, I'm okay with these. That's a 16.
Okay, so you manage to grab the bolt and you grab it down at the base. You don't grab it at the end, and you literally count down for me. 3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1.
And there is just this squeal of pain that erupts from somewhere down low and comes out of this guy who's now lying there just in his unders. There's no robe on him. Don't tell me to shush. And he's just screaming out in agony. He reaches down to grab his thigh as a gout of blood starts to pop out of that hole that you've just left there. But he's very much awake at this
I will
point.
hold his wound as close as I can so he's not going to bleed out in 2 seconds.
Before that happens,
Oh no, seriously, no.
our friend who is standing at distance,
No.
the eye just focuses and rolls squarely onto the gouts of blood, and the Nothic steps forward, and you see the jaw more open, and the tongue starts to roll down, and you just hear in your minds, blood, and it leans right in close. So then you can reach in to try and cover the wound if you want to.
I'll put pressure to hopefully stop or slow the bleeding, because that ain't going to stop too readily.
I need you to make a sleight of hand check to see how quick you are.
21.
Yep, okay, so you managed to get there in time, you put your hand on it and put pressure on it.
Yep.
At this point, the Nothic still slowly creeps forwards. It's up to you whether you want to tell it off or...
I'm hoping I've got the arrow still in my hand. I'll point at it.
Yeah, okay, so it actually sort of hesitates and stops. What did you do?
I'm going to tell, there's no blood here. What are you doing?
Okay, so with that conversation in exchange, I won't make you roll for it. The Nothic takes half a step back, but is still quite close and is almost leering over the top of you, Nitro, as you administer this pressure onto this wound.
Okay.
The gentleman is very much awake, if we can call him a gentleman. That's up to you how you want to engage.
Yetnet, would you like to ask some questions for this one to answer?
Do you know anything about the Redbrands? I know you all want to tell me, speak.
Oh, are you kidding me? After the beating you've just given me, I'm not telling you nothing. You can go.
Well, otherwise, we're going to feed you to the Nothic.
What are you talking about? As soon as I enough at it, the red band turns his head and sees this leering figure over the top. Oh, what have you done? You brought me back in here, you crazy. What's wrong with you, crazy bastards? And he just this manic wail of pleading
What do you mean back in here?
You brought me back under the manor, haven't you? This is his place. This is where it is. Get me out of here. Get me out of here.
Why?
I don't want to be here with that thing. That thing's going to eat me. It'll eat us all. Can't be trusted.
No. If you want to stay alive, you have to tell us every single detail.
All right. I'll tell you everything I know, but it's not a lot. There's not a lot to know, but please just get me out of here.
We'll get you out of here after you tell us what's going on.
Oh, all right. And you can see he's sort of squirming around against your hand, Nitro, as well. And the Nothic again, you can feel on your shoulder some drool from the jaw of this thing falling onto your shoulders. And the Redbrand just basically starts to spill his guts in entirety. He says that the leader of the Redbrands, they don't know his real name. They just know they refer to him as Glassstaff. He's a wizard. There's a mysterious entity known as the Black Spider that has effectively employed them to terrorize the town of Phandalin in search of some dwarf who's carrying a map or something.
What? Dwarf?
Yeah, that's what he says, a dwarf. And there's...
Sildar is a dwarf, isn't he?
No, Sildar's a human.
Oh.
And there's also a collection of people that they've been trying to kidnap to make it look like it's not just random. So, while they're looking for this dwarf in terms of trying to kidnap this individual, they've been taking other people to make it look like it's not just random, not focused on one individual. But then he sort of stops.
Hey, that's all I know. I swear, please get me out of here. Get me out of here.
What do you think, Nitro? Should we get him out of here or should we feed him?
Well, I don't think he's quite telling everything, so maybe we should let the Nothic take off a leg to start with and see how he goes from there.
Alright, I'll go tell the Nothic. Nothic, you can take off a leg on this man.
Lives.
The Nothic moves forward, and as that happens, the Redbrand just starts screaming, "No, I've told you everything I know. There's nothing else I know. I don't know what's going on here. Please, please, take me out of here."
I'm not too sure about this. I don't want to feed him to the Nothic because he's not telling everything.
Well, you can make an insight check to see if he knows anything else or not.
Yes.
Let's do that then.
Okay, so roll for insight.
So you hope you know I'm not very good with
Straight roll for
insight.
you. You got no bonus.
18.
Oh, damn it. Okay.
I've got a
So,
17.
18 is quite solid. So you can see through the panic, you can see right into this Redbrand's eyes. They are wide. There is so much fear there. And there's a sense of panic. There is sweat dripping off his brow. He's going white from blood loss. It definitely appears, as far as you can tell, that he's literally told you everything he knows.
Oh, I don't know. Should we feed him or should we let him go?
Well, that decision lies squarely with yourself. I don't make that decision, I'm sorry. What would you like to do? Do you feel like we should feed him to the Nothic?
Well, the Nothic's not going to leave us alone because when he sees blood, he's going to eat it. So I don't think we have no choice. I think we're going to feed him. We don't have a choice. We don't have a choice.
I will follow my saviour. She saved my life. I'll lead by example. I follow the example led.
All right. So as you step away from the Redbrand, who is now screaming at the absolute top of his lungs, the Nothic moving ever so cautiously, the eye squarely on the Redbrand, but then occasionally darting up towards each of you. You back away and you make your way out of the cavern system, and you jump back on the wagon, and you ride away. And still in your minds, in the fading parts of your mind, you just hear
Flesh, blood.
As the wagon pulls away, you start to hear less and less of that. You can't hear any screaming. You can't hear this, just that constant vibe from the Nothic as it devours a meal. In spectacular, disgusting fashion, I would imagine. Where would you like to go? You want to go back to Sildar?
Sildar's at.
Sildar's here at Stonehill Inn.
We're gonna go back to the Stonehill Inn, and then if Sildar comes out, we're gonna take him to Barbenter's to drop off the wagon.
Okay, so you're riding back past the main, heading back west towards the Stonehill Inn. You make your way to the tavern, and Sildar is there waiting for you. My friends, where is the fellow that you had for interrogation?
We fed him to the Nothic.
Oh dear.
No, he had blood. The Nothics really engaged with blood, so we had no choice.
Well, I suppose these things can happen, and I'm sure he was probably not a pleasant fellow. Did you learn anything from the ruffian before he was dispatched?
What did he say again?
A dwarf they're looking for who has a map of something apparently. That's what they're.
Oh, and they had a staff.
The glass staff was the gentleman's name, was it? That was the wizard.
Yep.
A glass staff.
Yep.
That's what the name of the wizard was.
And at this, Sildar starts to look very, very, very worried. You remember the wizard that I talked to you about before, Yano?
Yes.
He had a staff made out of glass, and I believe now that he and this glass staff are indeed one and the same. It would appear that he has decided to turn tail or turncoat and is in league with whatever is going on here. And you say that these Redbrands are after a dwarf, is that correct?
Yes.
The dwarf has a map to something.
I mean, we've learned that the Cragmores were after Gundren, or after dwarves as well, anyone containing a map. And Gundren was so excited, he told me that he'd found a secret map that led to something quite profound.
But we
there's a lot
don't know. But we don't know where the Redlands live. We have to go out of Phandalin and search another world outside Phandalin.
Maybe
What is
there's
this?
more to this than we first thought.
What is Sildar wearing?
It's a very long way, so maybe we'll take the wagon with us.
Well, while we were in the Cragmore hideout, remember that we learned that King Droll, the leader of the Cragmores, was keeping something or someone hostage at Cragmore Castle. We do not know its location. No one has ever learned the true identity or location of whereabouts of where Cragmore Castle is. But there may be a man who will know. You will need to make your way to the town of Thundertree and find the wizard that lives, the druid, that lives there. He's a man documenting and researching the strange goings on at Thundertree, north and near Neverwinter. He may know the truth and be able to help you find the location of the Cragmores and their castle.
What is?
We'll do that, but first, I need to go talk to the town master.
What is your reasoning?
No, because we met when we were arriving. When I got
And as you were having this conversation with Sildar, there is a pounding. There is a pounding on the ground. There is a thunder that sounds like it's approaching from the distance, and you hear this pounding, bada boom, bada boom, bada boom, bada boom, and you realise that that's actually not a pounding. It's not thunder. It's hooves. And around the corner from the far end, from the eastern end of town, you see a very sleek carriage led by 3 or 4 horses, pounding along. In the driver's seat, you can see that there is a strange man with a black beard, robes flowing behind him, all crimson, and he carries what appears to be a glass staff. And he literally is pounding the pavement with these horses, riding full tilt towards you. I need you both to make a dex save to make sure you can jump clear in time.
A dex save. Dexterity +2.
Nitro?
18 total.
Yep, you're good.
11.
Okay. Oh, okay. So as Nitro, you managed to see the wagon first. You managed to dive out of the way as this thing comes thundering past. Yetnet, you're not quite as quick, and you are going to be clipped, only clipped, and you're going to take 5 points of bludgeoning damage as a result of the cart clipping you and knocking you into the dirt. You can see this guy Glassstaff, who we now know as Iana Albrecht, charging forward. Yeah, that's okay. We'll fix it in a minute. Yeah, that's okay. So take 10 off. It's all right. You can see the cart is riding full tilt towards you. He lets out a cackle as he walks past, and he recognizes Sildar, and he says, "You, my friend, will never take me alive." He rides forward and he waves his staff, and there is a crack of lightning that comes down, forks straight into the pathway there. Sildar turns to you both, helps Yetnet up, and demands that you follow after. "We must seize him. He cannot be allowed to escape." And he urges you to jump back on the horses. He unhooks them, jumps on horseback. Sildar grabs one of the horses from the wagons and tears off down the street after Iano. And that, my friends, is where we're going to finish for tonight. That is our end of our session for this evening. There is plenty to follow up on. We are going to give chase with Iano at the next session. Thank you very much to my good friend Ben, who is sitting there joining us this evening as Nitro. It's very, very exciting. I'm sure he is going to have some stories to tell after this one. But that's what it's all about. A big thank you to our Dragonborn extraordinaire Charlotte, undergoing this crazy campaign.
Yes, and I hope I don't get killed.
Well, hopefully not. We'll see what happens. There is plenty more action coming your way, folks. We've got more D&D Live. Stay subscribed to the channel so you know whenever those live chats are coming your way. And by all means, you can always comment on the video and have an impact on where the story goes
And
from
always
here.
ask questions for me.
Or for Ben. Anyone. We don't mind.
Yes.
Yes.
Lots more coming your way, folks. There's plenty more unboxings galore coming your way too, so stick around. Make sure you hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Thank you for joining us tonight. We will see you next time. But from all of us here, it is
Bye.
Bye for now. Say bye, Ben.
Bye.
Bye.